the Bangkok Titans against
Ikitakimasu.
Ikitakimazu.
Oh, yeah.
Which means?
Eat well.
Bon appetit.
Yeah, it's like bon appetit.
Bon appetit. Yes, that's what it is.
Except in America, we don't have anything like that. It's just stuff your face as quick as you can.
Yes, if you guys have any questions, hashtag IEM, of course, is the hashtag. And I'm just going to have a very quick look, then I'm close this again because it probably doesn't look too good.
And the
well, we can do that actually next
pick
game.
phase already started. Champion selection.
Oh wow, that was quick. We won't
yeah.
need this.
So we have another game coming up for you: Bangkok Titans versus Ikitakimasu. This is obviously the first game for both teams, so need a little bit of a warm up here, but should be a very interesting game. As we're just going to head straight into there.
Two big unknowns, Jason, at this point, and
I mean, you can't really count Bangkok Titans as an unknown, to be honest, because I mean, Garena Premier League is a really big deal.
They are known here in Asia for sure.
But the relative levels of power here.
Okay.
There's no way of saying. And Diana, actually, Diana was completely open last game and not picked.
What can I say? What can I say? Diana doesn't corner double AP though.
Okay, yes, that's true.
Yeah, but when I saw the double AP and I saw they were against Zaru, I knew he was gonna pick Bloody. Well, I think I said it.
No, yeah. And the Blitzcrank, of course, once again banned. I think Blitzcrank just such a playmaker.
Actually, he's the most banned champion, probably.
I would say gut feeling, yes. I would probably have to have somebody else run the numbers for me. But yeah, he has been banned a lot. Zyra, probably just watched last game.
Can we guys go on?
Yeah, we're just kind of doing a radio cast for you guys right now. But yeah, Zyra is another ban, which Libic last game, Meet Your Makers, that was insane. I mean, he was leading his teams in kills. I believe Joe or Demon said at one point. He played so well. He had the boots mobility for roam. He really wanted to be aggressive.
Yeah.
Try to take that out.
And the Ranga banned next. We're doing a radio cast for you at the moment, but you can picture what it looks like. Ranga is the second ban for Ikitakimasu.
Okay, so basically Bangkok banned Diana and Zyra for the moment. And okay, there we go. You can see it right now. So the bans are really obvious. Rengar is a really strong jungle. Oh shit! Oh, sorry.
There we go. That's better. Nice.
Well, what are they trying to set up for with these bans? Because those are basically 3 APs. However, one is support.
So right now, banning supports is something really that a lot of teams actually do it. You know, supports are getting so strong. Supports like Leona, like Blitzcrank, Zyra, Zona, they are game changers basically. And they can make the bottom lane, as you saw the last game, they can make the bottom lane lose the whole game or win the whole game.
Why would you ban Morgana? Is this a targeted ban possibly, or is this just something?
Oh, that's why.
I wouldn't ban Morgana.
Because they want to run a certain mid, right? TF.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that black shield.
I think TF counters Morgana though.
But even with the black shield? I mean, you can't get stunned.
I think TF counters Morgana quite a lot. Too much range for Morgana. Morgana cannot keep up.
Interesting.
But this will be the first. Sorry, this will be the first TF, and you guys were talking about yesterday in the analysis desk about how game-changing he really is.
He's a game changer, but
you need to have control.
Game changer. So you need to actually know how to play as a team with TF, and not only just be good at TF yourself, you know.
And that's a very interesting concept that you introduced us to yesterday with the control versus just, you know, winning a game or just having control over your lane. And Studio, if you're watching, do an episode of the Studio Daily about that, because I'd like to know more about how that works. And we can actually see Jax and Lulu. Now, Lulu not locked in. There she is, locked in.
And speaking of TF, I mean, we could see a global presence team as well, right? We could see a Nocturne Shen come out, because those are still open.
I know that...
no, Shen is banned, actually.
Oh, sorry, didn't see that. Didn't see that last bit.
We can definitely see a Nocturne come up out still, which would make Alternate very happy.
That's too busy staring at Ocelot and Daniel, how beautiful they are.
Actually, against TF, a good corner, you know what it is? Something like an assassin like Ari plus Nocturne that really shuts down TF. It's too much pressure, so he's not able to use the ultimate to help other lanes. If he loses his own tower in mid lane, that will make TF not be able to roam at all. So you have to focus on the mid lane quite a lot against TF, make a lot of pressure in that lane, and making sure that that tower goes down ASAP. If that tower goes down, it's too much pressure for TF to just roam. He cannot.
Let's talk about the other team a little bit. Lulu and Jax as the two first picks, and I mean the two first picks. That's kind of like usually that's the core of your strategy, right?
Super Frost ran that, didn't they?
What?
Super Frost ran that. I think I remember seeing them play against KT Roaster.
He's actually running that.
KT Roaster B or maybe it's Blaze. It's so strong because Jax leaped in and then he knocks everyone up with Lulu.
Yeah.
And that actually, well, if Tarek gets locked in, that might be a mid Lulu.
It's a good it's a good strategy because of the E of Jax at the same time. In the meantime, people is just jumping around. He uses the E and he's like another stun. Too much crowd control.
Interesting.
Yeah, plus Javan, I don't think they pick Javan, but I don't know.
I feel like Jarvan can actually come back a lot. He's a pretty solid counter to Olaf because when they both hit 6, you just put your Cataclysm on him. He can't run away, so he can't escape again because most Olafs will run that Ghost.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
I'm not sure. The thing is that Javan, only place Javan could be good, I think, is top lane. I don't think Javan jungle is good at all. So that will leave Jax jungle, which is something not really common.
Well, I know we see Tristana actually locked in. Jared's got to be happy. It's one of his favorite champions to see. But what about Bangkok Titans? They have that Cho'Gath. They have a lot of CC out of him. I wanted to touch on TF about how his early game. I mean, I know his early game is it really sets him up because Ferelden Lord, you always see him, the guy who had 3,000 plus ELO. He plays a lot of Twisted Fate. But if you have a bad early game with Twisted Fate,
TF is probably the best solo queue hero. It's just in solo queue you want to help other lanes. He's the best lane helper.
They're sitting on Orianna. What a troll.
I don't think they pick it. I mean,
that would be. How could that possibly work? Could either one of them go?
Oh wow!
No, it would never work.
Warwick locked in.
Warwick is actually locked in, and there is the Janna. Okay, so that's gonna be the support. That's gonna be I want to say a top lane Warwick because I hope we're not gonna see another cloth 5 pot jungle Warwick.
Well, that's a deadly lane to gank, right?
He does have Flash Ignite ready. Oh God, please no.
I mean, when TF and Warwick both hit 6, that's a dead whoever's top lane.
I'm thinking about both setups. Setups are really even. I think they don't make much sense. Maybe the only setup that makes a little bit of sense is the ITK setup, just because it has Javan, Lulu, Jax together plus Orianna. But if you look at the Bangkok team, it doesn't. I don't know. I don't like the setup at all. It doesn't make any sense.
It's a strange setup. I just want to touch on the Orianna that's going to be locked in, hopefully, here right now. This is going to make that combo into the perfect wombo combo, of course. Jax jumps in, has his E already up. He's going to get the Lulu ultimate, knock everybody up. He's going to get the ball on top of him and pull everybody in.
That is theoretically,
yeah, but that's that requires so much to come together.
Much,
yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, if everything happens properly, then it's like they are gonna obviously win the team fight, but that normally doesn't even happen in between pro players. It's really, really hard to match all the skills together.
Yeah, well, we do have both teams locked in here. Who do you guys think's gonna win this one?
My guess is for ITK.
We have the early game
aggression. If they're both equally good, okay, ITK setup is better.
And it's actually going to be a Javan jungle. Interesting. So, why do you think it doesn't work? You think he needs items, basically?
Either way, he's not tanky enough, or he's not DPS enough.
Okay, yes. So he does need items. All right.
Yeah.
We'll have to see. It's an interesting setup coming out of BKT. I don't know how it works, but maybe they have something planned that we're not seeing right now.
Yeah, and we'll definitely find out really soon when we go over to Joe and Demon, who's going to take you through this game.
The less cool kids table.
Yeah, the English table.
The English table.
Automatically makes it
cooler.
A lot cooler.
A lot cooler. A lot
if
cooler.
Not
Everybody
just the weather
on the
here.
I think you'll all agree.
If not just the weather here surrounding this table, being the English table will be a lot cooler, just generally. So yeah, Itadaki Mashu. I'm still surprised that I can manage to get that out. I'm sure during the game I'm just going to be calling him ITK in team fights because I'm not sure that Itadaki Mashu is going to get out there. So
I think we missed the U out as well. Itadaki Mas, I believe.
Yeah?
I might be wrong, yeah. I might be completely wrong, but...
I actually looked it up just before we came on air, just to imprint it in my brain cells.
Itadaki Mas. I actually said it quite a few times this morning, just to make sure.
Just warmed our tongues up for that one. So yeah, some interesting picks in this one, as the guys on the less cool table have actually already talked about.
Yeah.
And when was the last time we saw a Javan in the jungle in a top-level game in a tournament?
I would say... When did I fly? What was the day I flied?
Flew.
I flew. What day are we on? I don't even know where we are. Where am I? I'm in Singapore.
He's lost.
I don't know. Whatever day I flew. Tuesday.
Yeah.
I saw it on Monday. Fnatic.
Where? Okay.
Cyanide uses it all the time, doesn't he? He is the jungle Javan.
Yeah, but I think Ocelot's right in what he says. Is he that good?
Is he that good? What, Cyanide? Is he that good?
Well, Cyanide's pretty... Cyanide only picks Jarvan so he can steal Barons.
If Xenon was saying Fnatic were bad, ever.
That won't ever come out of...
Although, to be fair, Shushi's not there, so we know he slid a little bit away from Fnatic now, but maybe he's going to move towards wherever Shushi is. I want cookies, or wherever he is these days.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, we are into the game, ladies and gentlemen. We are here live. It is the Intel Extreme Masters in Singapore, so let's get into the game. As you can see, the blue team, it is going to be the Bangkok Titans, and the red team, it is Ititaki Masu. Whether we even the U or not, or whether it's Ititaki Mas, I don't know. Maybe some Singaporean guy will come up and tell me I'm saying it wrong. Who knows?
And your game's just broken.
Yeah, no, my game died.
It just broke. It's not wanting to get in there. So yeah, let's give you a quick rundown then of these two teams. For Bangkok Titans, we have SKLZ Skills on Ezreal, NDD on Cho'Gath, Ceres on Janna, NVM, Nevermind on Twisted Fate, and Leah on Warwick. And for Itadaki Mashu, we have D-Dan on Jarvan in the jungle, Cryonics on Orianna, Maxados on Jax, Valkyrian on Tristana, and IFTP on Lulu. Lots of abbreviations in this one, Demon. That's sure to keep our tongues twisted during those team fights getting down. So early on, that ward put down here by Bangkok Titans. Pretty standard ward at this stage of the game for a blue side. You know, want vision of that Wraith area and just to figure out exactly what the plan is going to be from the start, and the same on the other side as well for ITK. So a bit of a mirror start to this matchup. We've got Warwick already up by this top lane. Looks like the bottom lane is going to be going down to help out. Guessing with Cho'Gath starting by the red buff at the start of this one. I guess that they saw that ward and that's why they're not going to start Wraiths. I'm not 100% sure on that one, but that's just the general feeling that I seem to have from that one. Or whether they're just covering that bushes could be another thing. So, Demon, we didn't really get down to this in the last game, but we're going to do it for this one. Who's your favourites with these lineups already coming out?
Honestly, yeah, I'm probably the same as like Ocelot said. Itadaki Masu seems to have a pretty good setup here. And honestly, he's chosen the wrong Cho'Gath skin, so immediately Bangkok Titans are not going to win. Because it's just not scary. It's just not a scary skin, is it? We are seeing an invade. It's a late invade. He's coming round. He actually may be able to pick this blue up. So yeah. Itadaki Masu on there, and Jarvan. Is it going to be Jarvan taking it? They are coming round. He has got Smite available, so I'd expect it. You can see a lot of good kiting coming from Jax here. He needs to back away before it resets completely, and he's going to head himself towards that top lane. So a good invade coming out there from Itadaki Masu starting off, and honestly, I'm not even sure that they even were aware that that happened.
No, I'm not sure either. They've got no vision there whatsoever. I mean, the one thing that they did have is this ward, and when they left in this direction, that may have just given it away, especially as now Jarvan is back over there with that blue buff. So now that they know that that's gone, we are seeing NDD. He's going to try and make his way around towards the middle, possibly. He has actually used his smite, so no really use going to try and steal that. Red buff, and he is going to get the knock up in there. There is the flash, but the stun card comes down. Where are the wild cards? He's still level 1, but he will pick up first blood. NVM there coming up big for Bangkok Titans. Just the start that they were looking for in this one.
Very good start, and that's sort of counters straight away the fact that he has just lost his blue buff. Yeah. Started off, came around with a great gank. He hasn't even gone towards the blue buff, so it does tell me that he was aware that's happened. So Bangkok Titans with first blood, and more importantly, going to Twisted Fate in that mid. So it's going to give him a bit of an advantage. See how that one stacks up. Taking Orianna down early on is no mean feat. They blue flash as well, you know, caught everything out there. Xeris is going to be low. He's going to have to back off from this one. This bottom lane partnership, it's an unusual setup. You normally see a Sona going along the airs, but feeling confident. Yeah. They've gone with the Janna. It's been actually a while. You know, Lulu's become such a commonplace there at the moment. It's been a while since I've seen a Janna actually in this bottom lane. It's been, like you say, Lulu. We had obviously Libic in the last game on Zyra. It's sort of become the new common picks. You don't tend to see Janna out there as much.
Oh, we're going to see a knock-up once again coming in. He's pulled the blue card out there, though. That could mean the difference between escape and kill from this one. And he gets away from it. And is Jarvan going to come in for the attack? No, he decides not going to be worth it for that one. So, yeah, that's the difference in Twisted Fate. You know, pull the wrong card. Gank doesn't work.
Well, I mean,
I assume technically working in
you do more damage with the mana card, but it just, yeah, it's not as good as getting a stun. You're going to get more damage when there's two of you with a stun, aren't you? It's as straightforward as that. But yeah, I think he kind of maybe just pulled the trigger a little bit too early there. As it stands, we can still see that Cho'Gath is doing the business. So he's he's successfully pulling out those ganks. You know, he's landed that rupture a good couple of times as well, so he's doing a good job considering the fact he didn't have blue. He has fell behind, so he's trying to catch up by getting the experience. You can see, though, he has fell behind. He's only just hit 4. Jarvan was already into 4, but he's kind of catching up with Jarvan. He's just lost that blue buff. Top lane, let's have a look at the CS. How's it working out between the lanes, Joe?
22 to 23, bang even in this top lane. 18 to 50 in the jungle. Cho'Gath ahead. I mean, he's had more small camps, hasn't he, since his blue wasn't there. 28 to 24 for Twisted Fate in the middle, and 28 to 34 in the bottom lane. Tristana having a bit of a lead. So it's not that big of a difference across the entire map. To be honest, one thing that Warwick needs to be careful of now is this Jarvan. He's coming in here. There's no ward down whatsoever. Counter-Strike is going to go off. There's a slide in. Oh, and he's flashed, and it's not going to get him far enough away, I don't think. The Ignite is burning. There was the flash from Jax just to secure that kill.
I'm not sure that was needed.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I mean, Jarvan's probably off cooldown in his Dragon Strike to get that kill. But nonetheless.
He'd have had Dragon Strike. I'm assuming his Leap Strike was probably up shortly, and he wasn't that close to the turret, but there's going to be a dive down the bottom, and it should be Lulu going down. They will finish it off, and again, Cho'Gath doing work from the jungle.
Yeah.
NPD is on a roll at the moment from that jungle, so that's the second successful gank they've had. They nearly took down Orianna for the third as well, or earlier on, but he has got a blue buff in that mid lane now, and that's going to start being problems for NVM.
Yeah, and I'm not sure that they're going to have the exact timing on this blue buff, and I just wonder if Jarvan is going to come around again to try and take away that blue buff.
He's pinged onto Twisted Fate.
Let's have a look. Jarvan coming around there now. Twisted Fate, as we said, has slightly behind in the CS, but it is only really slightly, considering that he does have that first kill, and will be going home. Jarvan there just putting a rupture down onto blue buff, wants to check out exactly when that happened. Like we said, Jarvan came in there, so they'll have had a rough timing on the time that they saw him here, and then when he came back here with that blue buff on him. So we'll have to see if they get back there in time. There's a smite actually used to steal away the blue wraith, the big wraith, and we are going to see now NDD in a little bit of trouble as the Orianna ultimate is used, and there is another knock-up, which may just keep him alive. Oh, Dragon Strike missing, he gets away. And again, the ruptures from NDD, so good, so good.
He is on the ball right now, to coin the phrase, the fact that he avoided the ball damage, but very good escape there. That health potion undoubtedly saved his life, and just having that one just tucked away in his bag kept him out of it, and that is just still one kill each at the moment. The top lane, you can see that Warwick's head himself back into towards that top lane. It's actually Hyena Warwick, isn't it? So technically Hyena rather than the Wolf, but Leah doing a good job of pushing on towards that top lane and keeping Jax pretty much shoved, but on towards that turret. But honestly, Jax is still picking up the gold. He's got that kill early on. He's just about managing to keep the CS up as well. He's also got a pretty awesome skin for Jax. I don't think I've seen that one, you know.
It's, I don't even remember the name of it.
No, I don't even remember having that one. Blue buff is up, though, and NPD is going to help NVM out. All the abbreviations like you mentioned. He's like, you going to ever hit this thing? I'm just tanking it, finish it off for me. And the blue buff now across on both carriers. So let's see how they deal with that. Whether we're going to see Twisted Fate start traveling around the map, Joe.
Yeah, well, that's one of the big advantages, obviously, of Twisted Fate, that he can ultimate in there. And especially with how this Cho'Gath's been landing his ruptures, it really wouldn't surprise me to see it coming in on that next occasion. And you've just got to watch for him, because we see the minimap, once he goes a little bit south or a little bit north, obviously he can't quite, from the middle lane itself, get to those bottom lanes. But as soon as he starts to wander, that's when you can expect to see that portal coming in. Cho'Gath currently doing the red buff, and something tells me after this red, they may end up headed down or headed into one of these lanes to try and pick that one up. Obviously, Twisted Fate does have a kill. Cho'Gath got a kill compared to the one kill there over with Jax in the top lane. But I almost get bored of saying this about Jax, that
does he go north?
If you get the kills,
north?
yeah, he looks.
Oh, bad times, Jarvan there.
Yeah, Jarvan is there, and that would be really, really dangerous, because he's certainly not healthy against someone like Jax and Jarvan. That's a lot of damage that's going to come your way. But yeah, as I was saying about Jax, he's ahead in CS, he's ahead in kills, and that's basically the opposite of what you want Jax to have as the opposition team. You know, he gets so strong moving later on into the game that it's pretty ridiculous. But here we go. This could be interesting, as we are going to see Twisted Fate coming in. Counter-strike perfectly put down. He leap strikes away, but they are going to get the Warwick ultimate down. Maxados going very low, and there are the wild cards. Oh, they didn't connect, and Warwick turned around. Oh, he almost got locked in there, but he is trapped underneath the turret. Will come. Oh, Orianna missed the ultimate completely. They do manage to take one down. flash away, and that was a bit of a messy fight, to be honest with you. Jarvan's ultimate was quite fantastic, I have to say. Almost got his teammate out of there. Oriana's ultimate, on the other hand,
not so hot.
Not so hot. Was around this area when they were stood there, but you know, if that would have landed, that could have turned out very, very different. But again, this Cho'Gath making the plays happen.
Making the plays happen. It has all been about NPD so far from the jungle, as that Cho'Gath making things work. Pulled Bangkok Titans, and then you call them BKT. That is technically their abbreviation. You can see in the top screen, but he's pulling back to 3-2. And keeping that advantage in their cards. And honestly, this bottom lane, Ezreal's starting to do some work down here. You can see he's going to have a good chunk of this turret down. I'm not too sure Tristana could do a great deal about this one either. Obviously getting the attack damage bonus from the shield. He's just working down the turret. Those minions won't be quite enough to take the turret down unless they feel they can tank it up, which they are going to go for it. And they do take the first turret of the game. Xerez helps out on that one. So, what are they going to switch things up here? We can see Warwick's gone a little bit up the lane there. Honestly, I mean, that stun card that came in on this top gang was so crucial because the counter-strike was about to come out and he was just shy of it. And as soon as that stun card came out, Rupture went up. The counter-strike wasn't there. Managed to try and leap away, but really good gang.
Yeah, we can see that Jax is going to start to put a bit more damage down now. I mean, Warwick's build got the Chain Vest in there, got the Philosopher's Stone. Obviously, you really need that mana regen with a Warwick in lane these days. But Jax, on the other hand, got great damage at this point with that longsword, with the Doran's blade in there as well. So I'm assuming wants to be fairly aggressive in that lane, but we'll have to see how that all pans out. Cho'Gath, in the meantime, is in fact invading again, and that's the second time he's taken away that big Wraith. To my knowledge, definitely two, maybe even more times than that one. But from that, it looks like they're going to be going towards this dragon. Pink ward put down by Lulu. But Twisted Fate is in the general area. There's the Slido and the ultimate coming out of Jarvan, but there is a flash away. Nicely done by NVM. I'll throw the wild cards out just to maybe force them back a little bit, but flash used by Twisted Fate. Not something, you know, as a bit of a squishy AP champion in that middle lane, yes, he does have his stun card, which is a way to get away when these ganks are coming in there, a bit of an escapability, but without flash, he's still very vulnerable.
So moving for the dragon here. Let's see whether they do get in there. Here comes Cho'Gath. Cho'Gath coming round now. They're going to go for the fight here. There's the Rupture going down. Is it going to be enough? They're going to try and get around, try and get in there and get the smite down. They do get it. He feasted it, and they put the Howling Gale down and the Monsoon. Force it away. Is it going to be enough? Xerez probably go down in this one. They're going to take down Cho'Gath as well. Itidakimasu might turn this one around. They're going to try and jump on towards it. It's going to be another kill. Xerez gets dropped by Valkyrie. And that is a good turnaround. I mean, honestly, it's a 2-kill for a Dragon Smite. And it was only the jungler, but I don't think the jungler had an Oracle or anything worth of losing. So honestly, gold turnaround is probably just about broke even there.
Yeah, they were chasing up towards Warwick there. I think they realized that they probably can't catch him. But still, like you said, they've picked up the Dragon. They've lost 2 kills. I mean, Jax is now 2-1-0. Tristana also 1-0-1, so probably 2 people that you want those kills to go to at the end of the day. The Jax and the Tristana, your AD carry and that top lane. So, yeah, we'll have to see how that all pans out, whether that has much of an impact on the game. But for now, Bangkok Titans have a healthy gold lead, almost 3,000 gold. As I needed to cough, Demon was drinking, didn't realise. That's it. We're out of touch, guys. It's been since June.
We just give. Well, no, it was work in the silence. That's what we were doing. Work in the silence.
It was totally planned. Oh, Johnny getting caught out here.
Xerez, well, he just gave up on it. I mean, whether Oriana gave him the call there, Twisted Fate was kind of there, but that was a strange way they backed up on that one. I thought they could have finished that one off, but instead it is 4-3. Itakimasu are still in the lead, but honestly, it's been all about Rupture. That's what it's all been about. Cho'Gath, he's got that boots of mobility. It's something we see a lot of the Asian teams running up. And we did see Meteor Makers actually running it as well, on the support as well as the jungler. But as it stands, looking across the board, you can see top lane, Jax definitely pulling an advantage. 80-66, got that 10 CS, got them kills as well. Picked up the kill, picked up the Cho'Gath kill earlier on. Meanwhile, in the jungle, 56-38, but also the kill. And only 2 assists. The fact that Jarvan's now picked up that 1-0-3, the fact that he got those 3 assists off it is kind of put him ahead. But We're seeing a couple of GP10 items from Cho'Gath. So Cho'Gath's just working on the farm at the moment, working on the gold. He's now got an Oracle. That's just been used instantly. This is something, you know, Jat's mentioned it a few times, and he calls on it. You should probably wait on that Oracle. I mean, he just used it the second he was at the fountain. Who's to know what is about to happen as he walks out of the base?
Yeah, they can jump in from anywhere. I mean, they've got, when you've got no vision, it's always a risk one. I think Jat is spot on with most things, but it's definitely right there. We are going to see them. The Rupture will miss, but here comes the Sun card. He gets knocked against the wall, but Lulu is not escaping. There we see the Nom come down. When is the next Rupture going to be available? There is the Rupture. Actually, Ezreal ultimate coming in as well, just to offer that extra bit of damage, but a good kill for Bangkok Titans, and I'm really happy to see how even this game is turning out to be. I mean, Bangkok Titans do have a healthy gold lead. It's possible that they end up losing out on one turret, but Orianna, you can see pinging down there. Well, I don't know if she was pinging down there, but certainly the pings were aimed towards her general direction of get away from there. The entire team is coming your way, but they've taken down this top turret. That will leave us tied in turrets now, and that obviously brings the gold back, albeit to, well, 2,800 now, rather than the almost 3K that it was. And Orianna now in trouble. There was the knock-up stun card coming in a little bit later again. It was actually a good position there, and yeah, they are coming behind him here with Jax there. Is Jarvan will get the knock-up. Wow, look at that for a combo, but Jax has got knocked back by the Monsoon. Flew through the air. There's the Orianna ultimate. Good kill picked up there onto Janna. Jax should probably get the hell away from that one. Doesn't want to be involved with that much lower, with that little HP, and that will be a 1-for-0 exchange. And again, great positioning on the ultimates, pretty much from both sides, actually. I mean, you had Jax in there with the Jarvan ultimate. Then you had the Monsoon from inside the Jarvan ultimate, which threw Jax away. Really crazy fight, that one. But in the end, one kill coming over for ITK, and still, though, they're behind 3,000 gold.
Yeah, and Zeri's flash just coming up. So if she'd had that available, I think she'd escaped that kill. You know, that Monsoon was just used perfectly by her. Blew them all out of the Jarvan ultimate. Neither of them could get back into it because they'd already used Leap Strike, already dived in, used everything they could. But we are at 5-4. We are all very close here. There's a 3K gold difference. It's actually Bangkok Titans that have the gold difference, despite the fact they are even in turrets, pretty much even in kills. It's all been about the farm. The bottom lane now both even as well, 137 CS apiece, actually behind in the mid lane, but the fact is he's picked up a couple of kills. So the gold is on the right people right now. The AP carry of Twisted Fate hasn't been that mobile so far. I haven't seen him just zipping around the map as much. He's only really went up the top, got the kill, went up the bottom, tried to get the kill, got the turret as well. So there's been a couple of moments, and it's starting to work out that way. The question is, can Orianna pull himself back into it? We've seen the Athenes and Holy Grail going on there now. Skolm has been a favourite that everybody has kind of switched to lately. The difference in the builds. Tristana almost got that Infinity Edge completed compared to the Trinity Force, which is being on the way for Ezreal. We'll see how that one compares out between them. But honestly, that top lane, Warwick has really brought himself back into it. He was about 20 CS behind at one point, but you can see he's caught back in there, got that free farm. While Jax has been running around trying to help out, and he has got the kills, don't get me wrong, Jax has pulled himself back into it. He's now actually ahead in CS.
I'm just wondering who is going to have the biggest impact on this game, though, you know, as we go later in there. Warwick with that Frozen Heart, which is obviously going to help against Jax, will help even against Jarvan, against Tristana as well. That's a great item to have in against this team composition that ITK have right now. But at the end of the day, Jax is 2/3 of his Trinity Force done. And we all know that once a Jax gets his Trinity Force, then that's when he becomes super, super dangerous. We'll see how Warwick impacts on this. That was a lot of damage coming out.
That was just a single Rupture and a True Shot Barrage, and I think a wild card as well. So you can see, and that's, I mean, the big impact will be the Shockwave from Orianna. If she can land her ultimate in the right spot at the right time, they're going to destroy him, because you're going to get Jarvan following through, dunking on top with his ultimate. If they catch you all in that Shockwave and he follows it with his ultimate, you are all trapped in that bubble. And then you've got Jax counter-striking you all. If you're all in that one spot and Jax counter-strikes you all, you're all pretty much dead, because you're not going to come out and you're all stunned. Of course, you've got Tristana's ultimate as well, and also the blasting shot. If you're all grouped together, basically you are pretty screwed by ITA Dakimasu. They're going to catch you and can't gank you.
Which is why you need a Sejuani in your team to break down those walls.
Well, I know there's a lot of ways that you need a Sejuani in the team. I'm not sure that would really be it, but I mean, it's one of those champions that hasn't quite been forced in. They haven't got the Oracle at the moment, so they've no idea. They've got a good idea that they've got vision around there, but they've no Oracle, so they can't fend this one off, whereas Cho'Gath has. He needs to be careful with this one, but it's looking like they're sizing up for a fight, Joe.
Yeah, Draven just sliding in there, didn't quite get close as he wanted. I think the rest of his team didn't really get the memo that it was going to do that, so he just decides to back off. Dragon is available for the taking, and it looks like Bangkok Titans want to get rid of a wave, maybe then head down south towards that Dragon position, or even just go for this turret. I mean, they've got great poke with those wild cards, with Ezreal, with the Howling Gales, even with the Ruptures. There's a lot of abilities to keep them away from this tower and stop them being able to defend it. But here we go, Jax is going in, and Jax is going out.
Just got shouted down at by Cho'Gath there. I was like, get out! All right, okay, I'll just back up a little bit, keep the turret. No, it's all good, it's all good. So they have got the ball. This is something we see Moscow 5 doing a lot of. They put the ball onto Jax. Jax goes leaping in, and they use him as basically the ball to follow through for an easy play shockwave. Hasn't really worked out just yet, but they do have that in their pocket, and then you can see they're going to try and position themselves. They're going to try and force the Dragon. So ITA Dakimasu feel they are stronger, and they're just going to trade it. Honestly, I'd never understand this trade. I would always take a tower for a Dragon, no problem.
Especially a middle tower as well.
I never understand why teams do that trade. That's something I want to hear from Ocelot later on at the analysis desk, is why teams give up that simple trade, because the middle tower is so important.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what Ocelot's got to say on that one as well. But that is what's happened there, and 29 to 25,000 gold right now, 2-1 in the lead. I mean, I saw what ITK did there. They saw Ezreal in that top lane, and then they said, okay, a Dragon. We'll take a Dragon. Yeah. But yeah, as you say, losing that middle outer turret as well.
Not worth it at all, and you can see that down at the moment, he's almost that little wraith. He's not happy about losing his red here, to be honest. The ping's going down there. And they are going to pull this one away. They give it to Ezreal. And honestly, after almost trying to bully for that fight, they all backed off and just put themselves in a bad position that they lost their own jungle resources. They lost the red buff. They lost a lot of the wraiths. And now you can see the Twisted Fate trying to push onto it. Ezreal's staying close. Look at this. They want to try and... Oh, they are backing off. I was going to say they wanted to try and set up a gank on Jax there, but they've all backed off. Ezreal is going to go and... NVM or... Never mind. I don't know. It could be anything. You never know what it stands for, but NVM has gone back as well. So all the Bangkok Titans back. What do they buy? We can see Lichbane coming out for Twisted Fate. We've got Trinity Force, we've got Infinity Edges, we've got everything. So the big items starting to come on the board there. We just saw an Oracle's getting popped as well by Jarvan, so Jarvan's going to try and clear out the wards. There's not a great deal of ward placement out on the map at the moment because they had that standoff for so long. Yeah. Nobody really had any wards, which you can see now. All the teams, they've all gone back. There's what, 2, 3, 4, 7 on Bangkok Titans. Now they're going to go back by a couple more. It looks around about 5 or 6 also on ITA Dakimasu. So they have a stack of wards, both of them. So it tells me at 22 minutes they want to start looking for a pick and a fight. But they seem to be in a bit of a standoff at the moment, Joe. Nobody really wants to go out of their own zone.
Yeah, and you can understand it as well. Obviously, first game of the day, I wanted to bring this point up in MYM in their last game as well against Absolute Legends Event Potion. That first game in a group stage is one of the most important because it can set the pace for, well, the entire tournament for you.
Everything.
Everything. Yeah. That first game is really everything to go for. I mean, look at Elo Hell yesterday. They started off brilliantly. Second game, they were brilliant. Third game, they lost, and they're out today. So it really does set the pace. It's not the be-all and end-all, as Elo Hell are the prime example of that as well. So no team is going to be wanting to make a silly mistake in this one. What I am happy about, though, is that they are showing to be very, very even, which only can mean one thing, that our games today should be pretty much all bang level, which makes me a happy chappy.
Well, we don't know how they balance out to meet or make a skill type, but they're certainly looking even between these two teams, so it could be a much tighter group today. Although, I guess, going down to timings yesterday, it was pretty tight. And I don't think Elo Hell were too impressed with it, but they went out. And that's the way the cookie crumbles. As it stands, though, Trinity Force now completed by Jax as well. Very much a tanky Warwick, though. So he's going to become a problem, honestly, but not a great deal of damage, I feel, going to come out from him. So he's built himself tanky. He's put himself in that position. He knows he's going to be the wall that really tries to get in there and tries to control. And I'm wondering what target he's going to go for. I would guess Orianna, because Orianna seems to be like the pivotal key in all of this. Or is he going to go for Tristana? Either way, they're going to be hard to pin down. I mean, Tristana's got a great escape. Obviously, just rocket jumps away from everything. Orianna, meanwhile, is really the pivot. Like I say, that shockwave could be, if landed in the right place at the right time, could be crucial. True shot barrage going across, that's going to keep them away from this turret, and they are going to try and defend this one. They're not going to give up on this one just yet, and they are forced to go back. So both junglers at the moment with the Oracles, nobody wants to lose too much here.
Yeah, a very standoffishy time. That's a bit of a weird combination to throw out there. Standoffishy time it is right now. But again, it only takes one play from Jarvan for him to hit one combo for Jax to decide, bam, leap strike, there we go, that's going to kick it all off. And this one is all going to go crazy. It's all going to kick off, Demon. At some point, it may be in the next couple of minutes, it may be in 30 minutes, but at some point, it's all going to go down.
Sometime, somewhere, at some occasion, there will be a break in this stalemate, and the standoff continues. Jarvan's just waiting to find that opportunity. He wants to get in there, he wants to dunk, he wants to dive, but it's just not given the opportunity, and both AD carriers are really keeping this back, and it's so hard to push, especially with a Cho'Gath so huge that he can just rupture and wave it. They're going for it here, they're going to try and force it because Twisted Fate was not there. Twisted Fate was down the bottom, showed his hand, showed his position, and they do manage to just basically blitz their way through and take that turret. And now they're looking to maybe try and pick up an engage, but look at the damage there. So he's built a lot of tankiness, but he's not really got much magic resist there at the moment, Warwick, which could be a bit of a mistake because there is a hell of a lot of magic resist. They're going to dive in. He hasn't got the team with him. He's got to back out. Didn't want to go for that one. And it is very tense stuff. Back and forth, tit for tat. I can't think of any other phrases that you'd use for it. Oh, they caught the rupture. They're going to go for it. They get the silence. The true shot barrage goes across. They do manage to take down IFTP. Immediate there, and Shockwave goes across on towards Jarvan. They're going to try and dive on towards Twisted Fate. Twisted Fate's the target, but honestly, the exhaust going down. Jax is in trouble. Jax may go down. He will get dropped. NVM is all over that one. And he was actually picked up the kill. It's the red finished it off there. They won't be able to close down Tristana. I don't think they've gotten enough. He just should be able to rocket jump away, gets caught with the rupture, but it doesn't matter. The rest of the team have responded. They've pulled back. They're going for the inner turret, and they should be able to take it. That was a great fight for the Bangkok Titans.
A brilliant engage. I mean, 4 men taken down. Yes, they've lost Twisted Fate. Not ideal, but 4 for 1 you'll take any day of the week, and that's what they were looking for. They've had this gold lead for a while. The kills were like literally the only thing that wasn't with them. So they've managed to bring that one back now. They're actually headed down towards Dragon, which is only going to increase that gold lead. It's currently sat on just under 6,000 gold in their favor. I'm actually going to look at how much after that standoff gold. Let's look at that, 2,800 gold on this Ezreal, and obviously that's going to go up to 3,000 when this Dragon goes down. 1,800 on Cho'Gath, 1,300 on Twisted Fate, 1,200 on Warwick. Like, they need to spend this money because they are going to get engaged upon once again. There is Ezreal trying to get away. And see, that's what I'm talking about. That could have gone bad for them as Twisted Fate portals in. Not sure that he really needed to use that, but at this stage of the game, it's not really often that Twisted Fate needs to use that ultimate anyway, so why not get in lane faster?
It's got a pretty quick cooldown, I think. Oh, is it still? Is that one of the ones that got hit by the 180 seconds? I am not sure. On Twisted Fate's ultimate. It's one of the, I know whether he was one of the globals that got hit by the 180 seconds. I'm looking at Ocelot, but he's just not giving me anything right now.
117.45.
Yeah, so it's 180 seconds. So it actually is quite a big cooldown on that. So, yeah, maybe it was a bit of a waste, but we'll see whether it comes into it. It means they're not going to be able to split push, not going to be able to do a great deal, but we do see a bloodthirster now coming flat out from Ezreal, and that's where that 3K goes, and all of that gold he just picked up, and that's, you know, that gold they just picked up from that one fight. They went 4 for 1, I think it was. Twisted Fate was the only one that died. It's given them a big power spike now. They've got that damage, that items across there, and you can see they're going for it. Shirellia's used, going to try and catch the Rupture, splits them out there, doesn't manage to catch anyone there. They avoided the damage very well, and it has been all about the jungler. It has been MPD. It's been doing a fantastic job. It is an NDD, I should say. It's actually not a P, it's a D. I'm looking at the screen. My eyes are that bad. Maybe I need to get some of those glasses on, but they are going to try and siege it. They are feeling that confident right now. NDD's taking a couple of too many tower hits, and actually they may get splits out. It does put the Ruptures down, but the Shockwave's enough. They're pulling in. Are they going to finish off on? They do get it's a 1 for 1 in trade at the moment. That's going to be the jungler going down. Now they're in all sorts of trouble. Bangkok Titans desperately trying to force him away. Zere's going to get rocket jumped on. He's going to get taken down. They dunk on towards skills. They can't finish him off, though. He's trying to keep them at bay. He's trying to pick up one kill. He does. He turns turns it into a kill, but he's going to get dropped, and it's a double kill for Tristana, and they're just going to continue on chasing. Jax may have enough to chase him down, has to use the stun card. Could they turn this into anything? That's the question. They could go for Baron here if they want to. NVM has got his ultimate back available. There he is, he uses it. He tries to get out of there, and he just about does it. He's going for the kill. He's gone for the kill. It's craziness. And instead, he's just going to have to avoid it, the damage. And now he's actually got himself killed. That was crazy. Uses the Zhonya's, but it's not going to be enough. They're going to finish him off as soon as he comes out of it. Tries to get the stun card back up, but Maxados was there. And that was a great turnaround by ITA Takimasu. Honestly, they went for the engage, but the problem was NDD took too many tower hits, so he had to get out the fight. And they just leapt on it. They took that advantage so well.
One thing that I really like about this BKT team as well, and I'm sure Jason already knows what I'm going to talk about, is that double Shurelias in there. 2 Shurelias against 0. I mean, ITK have got one of those teams where they are, on the flick of a switch, all going to jump straight on top of you. So that extra, that 40% movement speed, you really need to get out of those fights when they're not going, when they're not really in your favor to start with. So really like that addition to the side. What else do we have in terms of items there? Obviously the Zhonya's there was just used by Twisted Fate. A little bit silly in my opinion. Didn't really need to do that. I mean, it wouldn't have really brought in that much either.
Yeah.
It was just a bit of a weird situation. You probably wouldn't see most top-level players going for something like that, knowing that the other teams were around there. But either way, BKT here have managed to pick themselves up that top tower. And that will bring us to 4-3 in towers, 45-40. There's the 4th tower being taken down by ITK, and there is the Guardian Angel on Jax. So he's really got himself to that position that every Jax love to be in, which is Trinity 4th Guardian Angel.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
It really is all you need. So the rest of it is just a bonus. He's just going to get more damage. So that just quick turnaround by ITA Takimasu was just give them such a big advantage that they're now feeling that strong. And there you go, Twisted Fate ultimate coming out there. It actually is a much quicker ultimate. I was thinking it was on one of the globals. They want to go for this fight. Bangkok Titans are kind of forcing it, and they're going to try and catch out, and it's going to be Twisted Fate they die for. And look at that! 3 of them dunking, trying to get onto him. The Lulu ultimate comes out, pops them all up. Beautiful stuff. And Bangkok Titans are left reeling here. They're getting shredded down. This is such a well-controlled fight by ITA Takimasu. They're just picking them off left and right. Jax gets in again. He's got a GA.
Wow.
He doesn't care. He's going to get the GA reset, but he's going to be back up. And wow, amazing stuff. That was a 3 for nothing. They wanted that fight. Bangkok Titans tried to force it, got aggressive. But ITA Takimasu, they just separated and just waiting for that opportunity to jump on Twisted Fate. And they're going to pick up the Baron. Twisted Fate's going to come in. I don't think he's got enough to try and interrupt this one, Joe.
We'll see.
He's going to get a wild card.
And there we go. Not even getting close enough,
get caught.
And may get caught out here. There was a rocket jump going forward, and I think wise decision there. They all decide, okay, we're a little bit low HP. Let's not go in there and try and take on this Twisted Fate, who does a lot of damage at this stage. But if we look at the gold again, pretty much over 1,000, well, it was over 1,000 for everyone on the entire team. There's a Void Staff being picked up by Orianna. Tristana now having that, obviously the Infinity Edge Phantom Dancer from earlier. We'll see what she decides to be picking up next. There is a pickaxe, so I'm guessing going in towards that last Whisper. And what else was picked up that shopping trip? Nothing that I can really say off the top of my head. Lulu does have a couple of pink wards, though. Some normal wards in there as well. So they're going to have even greater vision. I'm assuming that's going to be for this bottom side and the top side of the Bangkok Titans jungle. They want to keep that vision up, even when they're pushing in towards these turrets, because you can see that vision, when you get pushed back, can mean the difference between winning a game and losing it.
Yeah, and you remember it was all about that mid lanes. They gave it up and bullied it for it. Eventually, ITA Takimasu, they're driving in now. They have the 5-man Baron buff. They have really the perfect position to try and drive an advantage here
and
against the Bangkok Titans.
Gold.
They are still behind in gold, yeah, because it just shows the Bangkok Titans have done such a fantastic job early on. So it's not an easy fight, but the last 2 big fights have very much gone in favor of ITA Takimasu. So they're going to feel very comfortable coming into this one. You can see they're going to try and pull it. Are they going to go for the tank here? Well, I tell you what, Bangkok Titans want to defend this one. They've put the ward out above. They're going to try and pincer off. They want to make sure that they don't get caught out from behind. And it's Takamatsu are not quite ready for this one. They want to try and drive all the lanes. You can see they're trying to position themselves. They're trying to pick up the red. There you go. The ping's going across. They know there's a ward there. Get around there. In fact, they've put 2 down. Look at that. 2 just around there. They want to make sure they desperately don't get dived down, caught out by Jarvan and Jax. But instead, Lulu sneakily Glitterlancing trying to take away that last ward. There is another one snuck around there, though. So I think they've got full vision. Yes, you can see they've still got vision around that corner. So the question is, do they want to fight on a turret, Joe?
The way this game's gone, I'd say no. Like, they're probably feeling that they don't want to be risking that, even with that Baron buff on them. It's really, again, this whole comp from ITK, it's all about that engagement. You know, if it goes well for them, they're going to go all in on it. If it goes wrong, they're going to back away. I'd say for that whole backing away thing, they're going to need a Shirelius pretty soon with the 2 over on the other side. It looks like there is a Kindle Gem there on Lulu, so we'll be picking that one up shortly. But you can see how nervous they are about it, and they've got Baron buff on. They are ahead in kills, they're ahead in towers, but they're still scared to push this one out because they realize that that advantage is not that great right now.
Well, the fact they've won the last 2 team fights, I would have thought they'd have gone for it. But yeah, like you say, they realize that there's still a strong defense there. They haven't got a GA to rely on at the moment on the Jax, so they can't launch Jax in there. They realize that got popped in the last fight. So no matter how well that last fight went, they did manage to take Jax down. Whether that's the right target to focus on, but there, look at that. One Mystic Shock from Ezreal on towards Orianna there, shredded her hit points down quite heavily.
Yeah.
So Tristana can do a lot of damage still. He's got that Trinity Force, Bloodthirster, and Last Whisper, so the armor shred is there. He's got the real ideal items. Done really what else he needs on top of that, probably a GA that's going to come with it. But they are going to keep poking down the turrets there. They've been wise to use their Baron buff here. They're not going full on aggression, not a full tilt. It is very much a controlled fight for Itidakimasu, and they, you know, like I say, they're probably nervous. This is their first big event that we've seen them in. And honestly, they're against the Bangkok Titans, a team that's come from the Ghana Premier League, so they've seen them, they're well aware of where they are. They want to try and make a stance here. They have lost the Baron buff, so that's just worn off. So that's going to be up in another 2 minutes' time. Twisted Fate's going to try and pick someone off here. Where's he going to go? Nowhere. Is what I was going to say. I thought he dived on them when you moved the mouse. My word. he's
going for 3 of them.
Too deep. He's actually stealing the blue buff, though, so he is using it to try his advantage. Did he get the blue buff? No, there was no blue buff there.
Wasn't there. Good try. I mean, he knows the positions of them. Why not just check it? I mean, you've already put your ult, you might as well try it if you've got the opportunity to do there. Just seen that Dragon is down. Look at the gold here. 50.9 to 51.4. 37 minutes in after 24 kills, 10 towers being taken out. This is still a very, very even game. It's going to be depending a lot on this next fight that comes up. Baron obviously has now run out for Itakemashu, so we'll see how they go about defending this next one. And again, you kind of notice that they go back and they all come back then in with a load of wards to get that warded up, to get that vision in place. There's an Oracle on Lulu. I'm guessing Janna has that other Oracle. Yep. And that's what they're going to be going for next. There's going to be a dance around this Baron, I guess.
Yeah, wise items coming out from Orianna as well. Obviously, got a lot of AP on there with the Death Cap, the Athenes that he had a long time ago, and the Void stuff for the Magic Pen. But he's also got the Quicksilver Sash. He's very much aware that he's most likely the target of Twisted Fate. Then stun card's going to come out. If he gets stunned and caught, you're going to get Ezreal putting True Shot Barrage across him. It's just going to shred his hit points down so quickly. As we do get another live announcement. It's just proving really that we are live here in Singapore. We
really are live.
We're not lying. We are here in Singapore. We're not doing it like a BBC style, sitting in a studio or another country while it all happens. We are definitely right here, right now. We haven't just got a guy with a microphone stood behind us. But as it is, very much an even game. 52,000 to 53,000, just 1K between both teams. 38 minutes gone. This is probably the closest game we've had at this tournament so far.
Yep.
And 10-14 is the kill score. And it just shows how well they've managed to farm it out. Oh, no. If that ball would have been a little bit quicker, they could have caught him out there. No. Howland Gale could have been put across, of course, to keep them back. But that's all they're looking for. Both teams just trying to find that one pick. And that was simply a case of NDD wanted to try and get around there and get a look. And wanted to try and get a ward on Dragon. Couldn't do it because the team cut him off, though.
Why are they going south now with that Baron coming up?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me at all. They got to have the timing on it. They know the Baron's due in a minute.
This is risky play. If one of them shows themselves down here on this bottom lane, if Twisted Fate, maybe less so.
There they go.
But if anyone else goes down onto this bottom lane,
the rest of the team is backed, so Dekimasu just setting up. The Baron is due in about, I'd give it 30 seconds. I can't see any timers on the screen, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be about 30 seconds. It runs for 4 minutes, and it definitely ran out. Jax is already in there. I think they've started it. I think it's more than they're starting it.
Yep,
yes, it is.
Started it.
There we go. Twisted Fate there, so they can see it, but they're just going to push the bottom lane. So they're going to use this, and they're going to try and race it up that bottom lane. You can see Twisted Fate. They're already going for it. Are they going to not get enough big advantages off this? I'm not so sure. They're going to try. They're going to get this turret almost certainly. The question is, can they get the the inhibitor and the inner turret? They can't because Tristana's there. Tristana's going to be able to keep that wave back. They're going to finish Baron off any second now. There it goes. There's the red team picking up Baron. Have they got enough? They're going to go for the inhibitor. You can see NDD's trying to delay them here. That's all he is. He's just a pure delay tactic. He's doing a good job of it. Let's go back to the turret because you can see they're diving in it. They haven't to take the turret down. They've gone too aggressive. They haven't taken the turret down. They do manage to get the kill though. This could turn very much in Bangkok's favor. They're going to get the inhibitor turret surely. They will manage to turn it. Have they got enough to go for the fight though? So it's going to be a 4v5. They could go for the fight here. And Jax is immediately trying to back away from this then. They want this fight. Yeah. They are going to back out. So an inhibitor for a Baron. That's the trade they picked. It may be enough.
Gold.
But the bottom turret in their own base is definitely got to be defended. I'm not sure the minions may have enough to take this down. They're going to have to back off very quickly. And you can see that actually Bangkok Titans are chasing them out. It's Takamatsu chasing them out, sorry.
Yeah, and that's a good tactic to do. Even if you're not going to engage, just, ooh, Jarvan. Dangerous position. Force uses flash. Actually will get hit up there by the Rupture. They're going to go for this one. Shirelius was popped, and that is a kill onto Jarvan. His Baron buff is now gone. This bottom lane, as you said, top lane, sorry, is still being pushed down. And they were chasing there to stop them portaling and stopping that push coming out. But was it worth it there to lose that Baron buff on Jarvan? Bangkok Titans now going to push their way. There's another Shirelius going down, not quite landing the Rupture. Silence is good though across Jax and Orianna. Well, they're not going to push down for that one. This turret though is going to fall, and there is Warwick inside the Rupture. Is going to knock Jax in the air, but he's got that Guardian Angel on. Is he the target you want to go for? There's an Orianna ultimate. Monsoon coming out. Orianna will fall. Jax surely is going to have his GA pots as he jumps back in. Going to get the stun on both of them. Here comes Tristana. It's a double kill for Tristana. It's a triple kill for Tristana. Brilliant play by ITK to hold on to that one. What a crazy match.
Well, the spawn timers are big, and honestly, in Takamatsu, they could just shove it right up the mid lane here. They have got their AD carry. They've got Jax. They could tear down turrets. They've got the Baron buff on them as well. They could just run straight through the base here. And honestly, Skills is going to have his work cut out to try and keep them back. You can see it's just Warwick and Ezreal. They've got to defend this one as it is. 17-13, 42 minutes gone. The gold is just 300 difference right now. With the Baron buff, is it going to be enough? How they got the balls to go for this one? That's the question. You can see the Warwick ultimate is up. He's got his GA. Is he going to go for that defense? No, they're going to rip the inhibitor turret down. They're going to get onto the inhibitor. Are they just going to back up? They can not let them go any further. You can see they're trying to poke it, trying to desperately work anything away from Jax. They haven't got the damage, so Skills is following this one unwisely. They've got a Shirelius. They'll never be able to catch one up. So, a good counter, and honestly, it's still a very, very close game. So both teams now with an inhibitor down, an exposed inhibitor in Takamasu's base. A pretty interesting trade there. I've got to be honest, I'm interested to see how the analyst desk deal with that one, because that was really, you know, the advantages and disadvantages of going for that. We've seen it before. We've seen so many times. I remember Against All Authorities, Season 1, the big base race that happened, and that was from the back of a Baron fight. And honestly, that was a very interesting trade, the whole shebang.
Well, Dragon's up. After 43 minutes, obviously less of a bounty these days, but every little helps, especially for Bangkok Titans. They've actually fallen behind now in that gold. And they are going to, with that, bring it back to so close, ridiculous. 200 difference there or thereabouts, obviously, depending on who's killing minions at this given moment. That's really how close this one is. We've to go over the items again. Randuin's picked up by both teams. In fact, double Randuin's over on the ITK side. What else did we see in that last one being picked up? Rabadon's death count, I think, was finished a little while ago, actually, on Twisted Fate. But there's a Guardian Angel on both AD carries. Ezreal, actually, Trinity Force Bloodthirster, GA, Last Whisper, compared to Tristana's Infinity Edge Phantom Dancer, GA, Last Whisper. So, you know, they're pretty even, but this Tristana is going to hurt a lot. That Frozen Heart is going to be helping out, but still, that is a lot of attack speed that she's got on with her Q.
Bangkok Titans are just ripping turrets down right now. This is the last one standing outside of the Nexus. And they are just, they're going to pick it off. Before the Itadaki response, oh, great shockwave, gets in there. Jax tries to do the damage, gets the counter-strike down. Jarvan goes stunking in there as well. That's going to be the kill. The NDD going down. They could well pick up the ace here. Takamatsu going to try and dive on towards. You can see Ezreal desperately trying to run away. Twisted Fate wants to use his ultimate. He's getting the hell out of it. He's backdooring. He's on the Nexus turret. He snuck around there. Has it enough? Have they done enough to take down that Nexus turret? Let's have a look at the Nexus turret if you can, Joe. I just want to see how much those minions are on it. Oh, I didn't quite take it down, didn't quite get enough. And again, they're trying to sneak in. They're trying to use every advantage, but you can see Tristana and Lulu and Jax are making a desperate run straight up the mid. Sorry, Jarvan's with him, desperately running straight for the inhibitor. Are they going to try and get straight in before the spawn time? As they've got 26 seconds, they're not. They're just going to try and take the advantages.
An absolutely insane game right now, and they're actually going down in towards the top lane. They are looking to tank it up with Jarvan. He's going to slide in there first, and they start that one off. There is the turret taken down. Twisted Fate and Ezreal, the two to try and defend this one. That's good damage already put down onto Tristana. The wild cards hitting as well. There is a lot of damage coming in. They may push this one down. Ezreal did put some good damage into IFTP on Lulu, and they are chasing here. They want to have this one. There is a stun card, but there is Jax as well, and they are going to pop that random Inzoman. There is a polymorph, and that is a dead Twisted Fate, and that could just be the difference that they need in this one. Orianna ultimate was a total failure. Now Jax is in danger, and Tristana also not in a good position. Knockup comes in, Howling Gale, and there is the GA being popped. There is the kill onto Jarvan. Tristana hit with the ultimate of Ezreal. That is some amazing timing from him. And it's, again, I don't even know what's going to happen. It's absolutely mental. They're going up the middle. The red team are backing away. Jax has low health. Lulu is only on half HP.
The super minions in the base.
They're going for the kill here. And he's going to get in on him. He's going to get in on him. The super minions are working their way in towards that inhibitor.
The Nexus turrets. They're at the other base. Bangkok Titans.
Oh my God.
They've got super minions on their own base. Get back in there. Oh my God, this is so back and forth. They're going for the inhibitor on the top lane. They've got the inhibitor. Very, very close stuff between both teams. There's still just 600 gold. It's 15-21.
Orianna is running away, but she can't get her home.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter if he gets the kill or not. You're not going to get away from him. He's going to keep charging and charging and charging until he gets that kill. There is another inhibitor gone. Let's have a look down here again. Nexus turret is going low. I don't think he's going to die, though, with those two super minions in there. Meanwhile, ITK getting rid of the super minions in their base. I forgot that Orianna was still alive.
He's got the blood sense, so he's going to catch up. There's no about it. He's got no mana. He can't juke it. Look, he's just stood there. He's just keeping him busy because he doesn't want to kill him because he wants to time the spawn timer off him. Now he's going to go for it. Now he finishes off. Actually gives it to MVM, and they were waiting for the Baron. Superb play. Both teams really putting their hearts into this game, but Bangkok Titans, if I can get the names out, is it worth? Oh, they're going for it. Twisted Fate spotted them. They've got the Baron, though. They've got to back out. They can't go for this fight. They have to back out. Back out, people. What are you doing? Good Lord. Joe, this game is absolutely mental. 70,000 to 69,000. It's 48 minutes gone in this game. And honestly, the game's on a knife edge, but there's no base left for Itadakimasu. That trade, that one trade they had, the Baron for the turret, the inhibitor, seems to be working out for them.
This is an absolutely crazy one. However, look at those super minions.
Well, because they've got all three towers, inhibitors down, you get double super minions. So there's a massive stack. And he's actually stacking them up purposely as well.
Yeah. And this is going to be a difficult one to defend. The entire team's coming in there. Tristana's going to be so key to defending this one with that explosive shot as well. This is going to be an epic finish, I hope, compared to, 50 minutes of the game almost. It's been a brilliant one. There's super minions streaming in from all three lanes now. Where is their first target? GA is actually up here for Jax. Also up on Ezreal. Tristana not got that GA up. I don't think they can defend it either. Jax is going to go. That's a brilliant shockwave. Oh, and that was a Monsoon coming out as well. There are the ultimates going down left, right, and center. But look how big Jax is. Look at the damage he's doing. We are surely going to see him go down.
The base is going. The super minions are on the Nexus.
It's going to go very low. Jack's trying to get himself in there, and it's going so very low. It's going to fall. That is going to be it. And Bangkok Titans are going to pick up the victory. And you can see how happy they are about that one. And for good reason. What an insane match. 49 minutes, 16 seconds, almost all turrets down. The Demon just speechless on that one. I wasn't expecting it to go that epic. When we, around the 20-minute mark, it's like, this is a real close one. But was I expecting 50 minutes and that kind of finish? No, I wasn't. What an epic, epic match.
And that was such a big result for Bangkok Titans right there, because they know that this is going to be so tight right now. But, oh, wow. What a game. 41 kills across the board, 63 assists and 53 assists. A 50-minute match. This has been the longest match, I think, of the tournament so far. And honestly, it was a fantastic match. Ladies and gentlemen, if you weren't watching that, if your friends weren't watching that, tell them about it. Because a lot of people won't know about the Southeast Asian scene. So Itadakimasu versus Bangkok Titans. Bangkok Titans we've heard about, we've seen, we just see them on the bottom of the table of the Grand Premier League, so immediately everyone writes them off.
Right.
But do not write them off, because they've got staying power.
They've got staying power, and they've just proved it there in that one. I don't know what it is about our combo, Demon, but we always bring the best games. We get the good games. So if we're casting together, you can pretty much guarantee that's going to happen. But I think we've waffled on for enough time now. I'm looking forward to hearing what they've got to analyze about this game, because there was a whole lot of it. Let's throw it over to the not-so-cool kids' desk, although I guess after this one, they're going to look pretty cool, because there's a lot to break down from that one.
Well, if anything, we're the really diverse desk. and props to Demon for getting out Itadakimasu during a team fight. Props to you for that. But this game, wow, what a game. Where do we even start on this? I mean, we could talk at the beginning. I remember you were mentioning Cho'Gath, how insanely well he was playing. We'll just start with that, and then we'll progress to the game a little bit.
Well, it's pretty clear that Cho'Gath just outplayed the opposite jungle, outplayed Yavan quite a lot. And Cho'Gath is probably the main reason they won the early game. Everything is noble apart from that. Afterwards, we saw some mistakes that we're going to talk about. Yeah. But, yeah, definitely Cho'Gath won the early game pretty hard.
There were a couple of moments when Cho'Gath ganked in, and I'm sorry that I have the laptop open here, but my memory is not good enough for this 50-minute epic game.
Can't remember the times?
Yes, I can't remember the time. There was a moment at the very beginning when Cho'Gath ganked, and you called it before Cho'Gath even appeared. This is a 100% kill. And Cho'Gath came in with just a red buff and hit his Rupture perfectly. Got the kill on Orianna. Perfectly played. And then there was an incredible escape at 650 where he was caught in the enemy raves and somehow managed to get out. So that Cho'Gath player definitely
he stole a Drake. He stole a Drake as well.
And he did steal a Drake as well, yes, with a nom-nom. That was very, very cool to watch.
And we also had really interesting picks. I mean, well, interesting just because of the Warwick, where we saw yesterday Warwick cloth armor 5 pods jungling without smite. But this time, Warwick top. How did that work out, do you think?
I don't think he was even... I mean, obviously everybody counts in the victory, and in the losses. But let's be honest, we didn't do much this game. It was most likely about the teamwork. I liked so much when they traded the Baron for the push. We're gonna see it right now, and yeah, that was probably the key of the game, I would say, no?
Let's go straight into that replay then.
Okay.
Talk us through it.
Yep.
So we can see right now how ITK is doing Baron with 2 people. Is actually doable. Cho'Gath knows it. And he says, okay, just push, trade the Baron for the inhibitor. And that's what he did. As you can see, this was probably the core of the game. Cho'Gath didn't want to steal because he knows he will die if he does so. So what is he doing otherwise? He just wants them to not base. His really smart decision. It's a 3v1 situation, but they will take so long to kill Cho'Gath. So he says, it's a 4v2 situation, just push. That's what they did. They get kills easier.
Yeah, and that was a game. The Lulu argument was a little bit late there as well, but let's not harp on that. As well, we also said during the analysis here, really did like his R-key there. He did like his ultimates a lot. And if we can jump forward to 41-20.
41-20.
Yeah, that is... Yeah, this is the perfect defense there. Warwick goes in a little bit early, I think you mentioned. They weren't quite ready for him, and then ITK just turned this around so beautifully. Again, the shockwave. They are going deep on Orianna, but is it really worth it? Because now Tristana has free reign. You see Tristana picks up the Cho'Gath, and Jax goes in perfectly because he knows Tristana is right behind him, procs his GA, and gets Tristana a triple kill.
Okay, so the idea of BKT here wasn't too bad, but on the other hand, it was a misplay. Why was it? Because top lane was pushing to their side. They could have just went back and killed the creeps. What was it?
Yeah, 44-20 is the next one we want to look at. We actually had 4 moments that we want to talk about. Yep,
that was an amazing
perfect.
play at 44-20.
This was great. This is the perfect combo. We always talk about the Jax Shockwave combo, and it doesn't get better than this. Look at this. Well,
actually, that was the 45. That was the 45-20, I believe.
Right. Okay. Yes.
But still,
this is a team fight decided quite a lot because Tristana got some kills, got a double, triple kill.
Yep.
And yeah, that was it.
Yep, that was pretty much the moment we wanted to talk about, and then of course there was the epic 10-minute chase of Orianna.
Oh gosh,
but I
we
don't
were
think
watching
we need to show you that again.
We don't want to watch it. We don't want to watch that again. They could have actually killed Lulu at that point and just
yeah,
push.
They could. Yeah, exactly.
But well, anyways, was very well played. And to be honest, I didn't expect BKT to win this game when it comes to team fights, but actually they played really, really smart when it comes to trade the Baron for the inhibitor. That was the game. Against TF, as TF, you want as less towers as possible, your opponent to have, basically, because you are able to kill the inhibitors that way. And that's what happened. That's what he did, and that's the only reason they won.
Yeah, and speaking about the bot lane push for the Baron, they had Lich Bane, they had Triforce. I mean, that's free towers, basically. Yeah. But no, that was such a great game. That really was out of both teams.
Man. It works.
And that lets us know that this Group B is going to be very good and very entertaining.
There's one factor we should quickly mention. I don't want to harp on it too much, but there were a couple of misplays here from both teams, and I think what that is simply nerves. Let's remember both of these teams are at an offline event for the first time. I did speak to both of them before the game, and while they were joking and like, ah, we're going to have a good time here, they didn't really convince me that they are as nonchalant as they wanted to seem here. I think there's actually some nerves involved. And Orianna, even while she played a couple of really good team fights, there were a couple of ultimates where even you were saying, like, why would you miss that? There was no reason to miss that.
Okay, so what I think is that, I mean, you saw really bad players, but you saw really good players from the same guys that did really well. Really good plays. So the only thing that tells you is that offline is a completely different story. When you're at home, in your desk, with your mom, with your food, with your, with your mom, everything is different, But you're here, you're with your team in a desk you don't even know.
Yeah.
It's just a different thing. Yeah. Different weather, people.
And MIM, of course, have a lot more offline experience, so that's yet another thing working in their favor in this group, Jason.
I want to touch on one thing, because Demon actually brought up the question while we were doing this, and he wanted us to ask is, why do teams give up mid-tower for Dragon? Because of the position control. Can you walk us through that? Like, what's the mindset behind it?
Okay, so I think right here, it's a good question, actually, and I understand why he has the question, but for me it's really obvious, the fact that Drake is going to respawn again. And what is Drake giving you? He's giving you money, literally. Money and maybe level, a little bit of level, but that's it. What is mid tower giving you? Map control, which snowballs into everything. The mid tower, the first mid tower for me, is the most important tower of the game. The earlier you get it, the better. Mid tower is the tower that provides the most map control,
and it was map control as well for the team that had TF.
Yeah, basically, when you're TF, you want your tower alive, for sure. As I said, it's really crucial for TF keeping the tower alive. But it's really important if TF kills the opposite tower in mid lane, yes, the pressure gets doubled.
Yeah, he's permanently MIA.
Yeah.
Yeah. And actually, how impressed were you with Twisted Fate? Because we were talking beforehand, how you have to have a really good TF to, form your team around it. You were mentioning how you played TF, or you had your secret champion at Gamescom was TF, and how you have to play with your team a lot as a Twisted Fate or even a Nivea just to work, so your team sees how that really works in your composition.
If I'm frank right here about this topic is that you have to be really good TF, and you have to be really good Anivia, for instance, to make sure they work in a team fight. I mean, sorry, in a team. But let's be honest, it's more like a team thing, making TF and Anivia work than the player itself, I think if you're really good TF, you're really good Anivia, it helps, obviously, but it's more like a team thing. You need to bait, you need to know when to catch people, you need to... it's all about a team.
And speaking about Twisted Fate, you got a Zhonya's as a second item, I believe.
I don't like it.
And yeah, you mentioned that it kind of shows his mindset about something. Can you go into that a little bit?
Yeah, when you go as Sonya's second item, it's because you're extremely scared about what's going to happen to you, and because you don't trust too much on your positioning. The more damage you got, the less visibility you got. So the better you have to position yourself. The more defensive items you do, that is meaning that the more damage you expect you to take. So the worse is going to be your positioning. I would have probably went for Lich Bane Rabadon, and would have probably try to position a little bit better. But TF did a great game, and I don't know who was the caller of that team, of BKT, but the call of that trade of Baron from Inhibitor is something I didn't see yet. It's the first time I see it. Just purely knowing that they will do Baron, knowing that they are doing Baron, just purely sacrifice that, even though you could have been in time, for an Inhibitor. Normally, you don't sacrifice that purely. You say, okay, they're doing Baron, we're not on time, just push, you know? But this was a pure thing. They wanted them to get the Baron because they wanted the Inhibitor. And that was a really crucial point, and that was a really perfect call.
Yeah, and then the Cho got to delay them so they can push it as well.
That was really, really good.
And like you were saying before, it's the same thing as, you know, losing Dragon for the first mid tower. That map control gives you, the pressure gives you from the super minions. It really forces your team to play, or the opposite team to play a certain way. It really locks them into, you know, a sort of mindset.
That actually tells you how good the mindset of the team is. Like, they understand, at least with the setup they played, they understand how the setup works. They understand the less towers opponent has, the better. They understand pushing over team fighting. They understood the setup properly. I really like the game. From a professional player point of view, I really enjoyed it.
And if I can just ask you, we have seen all 4 teams of Group B right now. Who do you think is going to go on?
Ooh, I was actually 100% sure I mean, we was going to make it. But these 3 teams, these 3 other teams, I was asking around, and they are really, really known in Asia. So it's going to be closer than expected. And I like that, actually.
Yeah.
And I go back to the question I asked pretty much in the beginning of the show today is, we have, you know, team synergy kind of compositions when you're mostly going for team fighting versus what we just saw out of Bangkok Titans. It wasn't really team fight oriented. It was more about, hey, let's pick off a guy, or hey, let's work a certain strategy. And I think it's working so far because we've seen it. We've seen both of them, obviously.
Yeah, indeed. There's I think you're totally right.
And which one do you personally favor? I mean, obviously it depends on team and your style, but
I don't know. I think it depends with the team, the style of your team. You know, sometimes I mean with SK, I can say we won the late game because we don't have the patience. You know, so you're not gonna go for a late game approach. It just depends on how your team is. If you're patient, you can go for a late game like CLGU. If you are not good in team fighting, you can go for a poke comb or maybe a split push comb. It always depends. If you're really good team fighting, you can go for a going combination or a catch people combination. It always depends on what is your team good at, where are you good at. You have to adapt the plays to yourself, basically.
And the way with the current meta, well, okay, let's just say Season 3, let's just say it doesn't come out for 6 months. With the way the current meta is going, I'm just saying.
It's not going to happen.
What, 6 months? What?
I don't know.
Ignore him. He's being in troll.
Okay.
Well, no, I'm just saying, ignoring Season 3 coming out, items stay the same, everything stayed the same. With the way the current meta is going, do you think it's based more around team fighting? Because we have, you know, the Asian meta where it was more about, you know, winning games early, putting a lot of pressure, not heavily focused on items, more focused around your synergy as a team and being able to land your combos correctly.
I think there is a problem right now. It's not a problem, actually. It's just how the game is right now. The objectives and the minion give too much, okay? Objectives plus minion give too much. And that makes the teams to be more conservative and wait for a huge team fight to happen in the minute 30 or whatever, you know? That makes the game boring early game. That makes the game interesting late game. But you got these 20 minutes of, not sure if you watch it. But yeah, it's gonna change in Season 3, for sure. Just reading at the changes, you are 100% sure that the things are gonna change. And the early game and mid game are gonna be improved for the viewer. Are gonna be improved for the player that wants action, basically. And for the player that has no patience like me, it's gonna be better because I got no patience, honestly. I'm one of the players that got no patience at all. If I can flash in to kill somebody even though I'm gonna die, I'm gonna flash in to kill somebody even though I'm gonna die.
And let me just touch on one specific aspect of the Season 3 changes. Of course, there's going to be lots of new items. We've talked about the Wraith change as well, but there's one little change that we've done with items that we haven't talked about much yet, which is the premiums for the Tier 3 items. So basically the way it works is the most expensive items in the game are by far the most gold efficient. Like if you finish a really big item, you get a lot more per single piece of gold. That is going to be taken down. So we have currently, I believe, around a 70% premium on the top tier items. So you get 70% more for a finished item like a Phantom Dancer than you would get if you just build like a
17.
70. Yes.
Ooh.
So there's a lot of basically free stats you get for just finishing an item, which means at the moment it doesn't really make sense to be aggressive in the mid game yet because you don't really have those big items yet. So you really want to wait for those big ticket items because they represent such a big jump in power.
And what is the change, sorry?
It's going to be done to about 40%.
Wow, that makes a lot of sense.
So yeah, the jump from mid
that's why the Rabadon, and that's why, okay, I get it,
exactly.
I get it.
Exactly.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, actually. It improves the early mid game.
That was the whole.
You guys are right.
Yeah, that's Quote's work. Cypher is on the forums, so if you like that work, go and let him know that he's awesome, because he is. And I'm really hoping to see a lot more mid game action coming out of that, because it now makes sense to engage earlier in the game.
Yeah, we talked. I believe it was between the first game and the second one. Actually, well, obviously we're on air. The Phantom Dancer and how attack speed has so much more value as
it
the
will
value
have
changes.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be more expensive in Season 3. So currently attack speed is super cheap. You can get it very, very easily. And that makes AD carries really, really strong because nobody else really wants attack speed. Bruisers don't really want attack speed. Bruisers want cooldown reduction and defensive stats. Assassins, of course, don't want attack speed. They just want to go in, do the damage once, and go out again. The only class that wants attack speed is the AD carry. And currently, attack speed is very, very cheap. In Season 3, it's generally going to be more expensive. We are making up for that by making AD itself a little bit cheaper, so that AD carry should be roughly around the same power level. But other people who want to buy...
it's over 9,000. Sorry.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Other people who want to buy AD are going to be doing a lot better. But what I also point out is that people who have abilities that give them free attack
I was just going to ask that about Nunu.
Yeah, Nunu and Vayne. Nunu and Sivir, those champions might become more powerful because all of a sudden attack speed is a more valuable stat because you can't get it so easily. The question is, of course, attack speed for whom? So obviously Sivir's ultimate is going to be mostly interesting for her. I mean, Ajax on the team is going to be happy with it as well.
He's not going to complain.
No, he's not going to complain. But Nunu's Blood Boil, we might even have to look at the, AS steroid in that skill. I'm not in the life balance team. I'm not going to be in the life balance team, so that's not my call at all. But we might want to look at it because generally attack speed is going to be more valuable. And something like a Blood Boil is suddenly going to become an even more attractive ability.
It already is extremely attractive, to be honest.
I mean, Kog'Maw Nunu or Nunu Vayne, so good.
And I mean, you can even run Nunu in the jungle, have an Ezra Corki bot lane, run like a Jax Aurelia top lane, give them the attack speed instead, and it completely works for you. And I wanted to touch on two things, but this one more in particular since we're talking about items. The Hurricane, I believe it's what it's called.
Yeah.
And I believe I saw a Reddit post by Diff the Ender, who ran the numbers for Kog'Maw and for, I believe it was Varus or something like that. And the numbers are insane for those two champions, right? At least Kog'Maw.
So you have to understand with Runan's Hurricane, first of all, is it builds out of pure attack speed. So for Varus, I'm not sure how attractive it's going to be. I mean, obviously his passive is going to be applied with it.
I got that confused with an AP Varus. I don't know.
Maybe. But for Kog'Maw, it's definitely extremely attractive because the W damage applies fully to all of the 3 missiles. Yeah. Right, so it sends out one main missile, and in like a 300 range around that, it picks out 2 other targets and sends like mini missiles that do 50% of AD. But I think it's 50%. Don't call me on that one. Yeah, but they do on-hit effect. So the W from Kog'Maw is an on-hit effect. So the percentage damage is going to apply with that. That is very powerful. You know, Teemo is also ridiculous with Runan's Hurricane. Really, really strong.
What about like a Triforce? As in, if let's say you're Ezreal, use your Q, you don't hit anything, so you have your Sheen proc up, and then you hit someone with an auto attack.
That's an interesting question.
Would that apply?
I would guess that only applies to the first attack. I think that's
but it's an on-hit effect.
Yeah, but only on the first one. So these are 3 attacks. So these only apply to things that go to all of your auto attacks, like the W from Kog'Maw or Teemo's Poison. So I would guess that a Trinity Force proc. Teemo's Poison.
Oh man, that's gonna be insane. Man.
Pretty strong. The new Malady, also very, very good. Does damage based on your AP. Jeez. So it's pretty nice. It's going to be very, very interesting. And something that I've been saying to these guys here these couple of last days, tournaments on live are going to keep running, even after the Nami patch, of course. Tournament organizers are going to keep running tournaments on live. And you know what? It's going to be the Wild West. No one's going to know what's going to happen. And I am super excited for the first team that finds the first super OP combo that can go in there and win tournaments.
Yeah, indeed.
And
like
require us to hotfix.
Man, the first month.
He found it, but he's not telling us.
What is OP?
Yes.
Actually, I'm pretty sure in this first 3 months, you're going to see like some crazy stuff. You're going to be like, Okay,
what is this?
Nerf that right away.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I mean,
I'm sure that people are theory crafting now already. I think Froggen probably has 15 new builds for his Anivia already.
only when he's winning.
Yeah. So, that'd be nice, the Froggen.
And speaking about changing things, what about your guys' view on the meta? I mean, I'm assuming you don't like a stale meta. You like to keep evolving and keep changing it because it makes the game kind of boring to see. You know, Corki Ezreal bot lane every game.
The way we see the meta is we don't make the meta. The community makes the meta. Right. We want to prune the meta. We want to remove the most toxic aspects of it. And we want to make sure that it keeps moving about at a nice, decent pace, that it doesn't get stale, like you say. But we never want to say, oh, we don't like this meta, we are going to change it now, because we don't change the meta. We give the community the tools to find a new meta that may work. As long as there are different winning strategies in the game, we are pretty happy with that.
Yeah, well, for instance, you know, CLG's teleport strategy, they like to do CLGNA.
It's so good.
It worked out really well against, unfortunately, against your team, SK, in the World Finals. I mean, that was such an insane match just to have those two teleports come in and finish it off.
Why don't we speak about the games we actually win, you know?
Well, that's the thing. No one really talks about the good things. They always talk about the bad things.
What are we supposed to say? Already? What are we supposed to say? Okay, you had a very nice triple kill in the European regionals at Baron Pit.
Yeah,
that was very good. Well done.
No, you don't get okay, I don't mind. I'm just kidding, you know?
I know.
I remember the 3 teleport thingy. And
there was like miscommunication, or it was like there was no solid voice. It looked like from video of like what to do.
There was a solid voice. Okay, I will tell you what. Happened. It's the first time I say it actually. This is a sneak peek.
Exclusive.
So we were. Actually, what happened? Yeah, we did.
I'm gonna tell you what happened. What happened?
we did Baron. Okay, I think it was. Yeah, we did Baron. Then we pushed, and. We had to defend bottom lane because Double Lift was pushing along bottom, and Ara let us know that Arane told us that he could just hold it alone. And okay, then we just push. We just push. We kept pushing, and when he destroyed the first tower, Arane said he said it, but we didn't hear anything. Maybe it was just a problem of the microphone or whatever, which happens pretty often. And we didn't know that the first tower just died, you know? We were just pushing and focusing on catching somebody. That game was ours, 100% sure. And when that tower died, we should have backed. We just killed Graves. We can just push through or whatever.
They wouldn't let you back. That was the thing.
And we just tried to back too late. And they teleported and stuff. It was a miscommunication thing. So, what can I say? It was one of my worst moments in esports because if we win that game, we would have had a chance. We would have fought against 2 other teams. I mean, against CLGNA and IG.
Right, the 3-way tie.
Yeah, and we could have gone through. So that game was really, really, really disappointing. Really, really disappointing.
So it came down to missed communication.
It came down to missed communication. So what can I say? I mean,
happens.
Yeah, happens. I was about to say shit happens, but you're gonna say that.
And you
so
did.
Well, maybe yes, you did. Maybe that's part of the gaming house as well. That people learn how to talk better with each other and to make sure that if they say something important and the rest of the team doesn't hear it, they repeat it. They repeat it twice, 3 times. They scream it like, guys, and just destroy the tower, you know.
Gaming house is important for everything, obviously, and yeah.
You learn a lot about each other.
What?
You learn a lot more about each other, correct? Like how you play, their styles. There's only so much you can learn online.
Indeed. Like online is not the same at all.
Tell me about the plans when you have the gaming house. How much streaming is there going to be? Because obviously your fans are going to be a little bit worried that when you move into a gaming house and you guys start scrimming, you're not going to stream anything anymore.
Well, right now I'm going to speak to fans. So right now, I mean, it's obvious that I'm the streamer with the most views of the world right now. I am the streamer, well, the player, the esports player with the most fan base, with the most huge fan base, and it's like I cannot be more grateful about it. All I can say is thank you very much. But this year I want to focus so much on winning, so I'm gonna sacrifice a lot of streaming time. I'm not gonna stream the scrims like I did all this year. I blame myself so much for it, and we probably didn't go through many tournaments because of that. But this year is gonna be our year. I hope you're there to help us.
And before we go into the Champions Select, I think the last thing I want to say is remember the Championship Series is going to come up. SK have already qualified, so you will see matches from them every week in free HD. So it's not like you're not going to have your weekly
SK picks. Yes. And we're gonna.
But I'm gonna stream the solo queues still at the morning and stuff. So.
Yeah. All right. So we are in Champions League, Jason.
Yeah. Well, we are finally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We'll come back to it later, but we are finally bands and picks here, and we already do have the bands flying out.